appointment, didn't ask a whole lot of medical questions.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, you know, later on when you get good at this, you can begin by starting to ask medical questions that can help you possibly know what you're walking into and get an idea of what product you'll use inside the home.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, a lot of times, well, do you have the age and the age of the individual on the lead?
Say this again.
Does it have the age of the individual on the lead?
I think she's 74.
Okay, so if she has decent health, you know, until you learn the LSW product, you can't really write the illustrations up very well for that. And I don't think you have the app anyways. That would be good. You have Mutual of Omaha though, right?
Yeah, I'll be using Mutual of Omaha, or if it's really bad news, it'll be Gerber.
Right, yeah. So they have the Mutual of Omaha would be great for the prices, either that or Prosperity. But if she is healthy, there is and she wants big money. You can get her the $100,000 with a Mutual of Omaha, has what they call a GUL. You'd have to call Mutual of Omaha if she's completely healthy and wants big money. Call Mutual of Omaha and ask them about their GUL product, okay?
Okay.
I gotta make sure I can reach that. Rob,
that's a beautiful audio visual.
Thank you. Good. Yeah. You like that? Good. Hey, Noden. So let's see. Noden bought 20 leads this week.
Yes.
Great. And you after this, you guys all on this today, the guys that I have been training for a while, could get off of this. I know that you have an appointment, Jerome, but you could spend 1 hour on the phone dialing from 10 a.m. to 11, setting up Monday and Tuesday. This is the only time I tell people to set 3 days out is on a weekday, on a weekend, because I know that you're going to have the ability to set Monday and Tuesday. You don't really want to go in on home on Sunday. I don't prefer going in homes on the weekends myself anyway, because the fact is I can't get a hold of carriers to exchange policies out. I can't get people out of policies if I can't get a hold of their carrier. So it's very important that for me, that I stick to the weekdays only. However, a lot of people like weekends because people are home. I wanted to do this a little different today. I just want to go over the scripts. I'm going to do Robert. I'm going to take Robert. Robert isn't new to the industry, but as everybody has a little hiccup, he's going to learn how to set appointments the way I've taught you guys how to do it. So if you guys are okay with that, I'm going to use his leads, and I'd like to try to set some of his appointments for him and be able to get him into homes. Hey, Robert, you know what? I was going to ask you, do you have a fax machine?
Not here at this house. Why? What do you need? My leads?
Yeah, I was going to say if you could send me.
They're in PDF copy, so I'll just email them to you.
Go ahead and email them to me.
I'm doing that right now.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip my own leads today, and I'm going to dial Robert's leads, and I'm going to get this this young man into a home or two, hopefully. And then at the same time, everybody here can learn how to set. These are final expense, right, Robert?
Yeah. Hey, Jay?
Yes.
This is going to the life and annuity 10 at Gmail, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to make sure some other people are on this thing. If you guys never see me on here, it's because I forget to click this one button that they have because I'm still new to this thing. So somebody throw me out a shout that lets me know, hey, Jay, I can't see you, and I can turn the damn thing on. So we're going to go review. Look, appointment setting starts with lead cost, lead purchase, things like that. So at the very top of this list, I have leads, 30 to 60 a week. What that should reap is it no less than $2,500. So that would mean that people fell on their backs, threw their legs up in the air, and wanted you. Okay, that's how that works. If you continue that lead order, I think a lot of people, when they're new to this industry, they depend on this until they wash it all. They just like completely get every ounce of connection that they can out of this. But the one thing that they lack is remembering that that has no shelf life, so you can come back to it. So if you keep your lead order, don't think that this lead order is wasted in 1 week. Maybe it's 20. You got to do a minimum of 20, or you might as well. Really, you need to find a job to cover your back until you can get started in the industry. So let me know when you email them.
Yeah, Heather, an update real quick.
There are $3 mortgage protection leads. There are $5 final expense and mortgage protection leads available. And for all you new people, they have a new system out there where they actually set the appointments for you. So these are A leads. They set the appointments for you. They ask for 50% of the sale. However, if you're new and you can't afford leads and you're not getting in the house anyway, this is a great way for you to work on your skills, get into homes, and get practice on somebody else's dime. So what I want everybody to do is, if everybody has Patrick's number, you need to get a hold of him. That was one of the conference calls we had this week. And if everybody could be on the conference call so I don't have to repeat this stuff every week, it would be very helpful, because I want you to have all the help that you can have out there. This company's amazing. They're giving you everything that you need out there to get your business up off the ground, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So, I mean, where else are you going to get that? I don't know. The dials, I want you guys to write this down. This is important stuff here. When you purchase leads, I need to know how many leads you purchased, how many dials you made, how many talk-tos, how many people did you actually talk to on the phone, how many sets you made, how many sits you had when it comes to the sale, how many people did you sit down with, and then how many sales did you get from all those numbers. And to me, there's a science behind where something's wrong. So if I know that you purchased 20 leads, you talked to, let's say you talked to 15 people, you set 7, you sat with 5, and you sold 2, we got to figure out where the problem is. Probably in the presentation, because you talk to enough people. Could be the leads, the dials too, the appointment setting part. Heather had a terrific week this week, everybody. Let's congratulate Heather on that. Good job, Heather. I don't know if Jen's on here, but Jen had $11,000 day, I think it was. That's another one, right? Guys, these ladies are killing us, man. They're kicking our you-know-what, man. So I applaud you, ladies. Is Diane C. on here? I'm going to check my email, Robert, and see if I got them yet on here.
Yeah, I hadn't sent it yet. My computer's doing an update on, it won't let me.
Time, buddy. I got time. Just listen up, and then Brian can't because he's doing.
I'm here, Jason.
Okay, Diane, I know that some things happened. You had a policy replaced. Just be aware that I understand that stipulation, the circumstances. I spoke. It doesn't. I just want you to learn something from that, Diane. That if you would have had the knowledge that is necessary, now you know. Okay, so let's drop the past. Past doesn't equal the future. Let's move to the future and just get past that. The other thing that you stated is that I know you're having problems when you got to the door. Somebody wasn't there, and you're gonna have that problem. I mean, we all have that problem, but that's why this comes into play. If you're ordering this many leads every week, you're gonna have no ifs, ands, or buts that you have more people to speak. You won't be so dependent on that one individual. All of you just don't depend on one person being at the door. And I'll be honest with you, if I have one, sometimes if I only have 2 people on the books, I don't go out. Just don't. Not worth my time these days. When I started, I went out for one person Whoever was on the books is who I went out with, because I needed the education more than I needed the money at that time. The education is more valuable than the money at this point. So for those of you that got a steady income coming in, don't worship the money too much. Just worship the education for now. And I want to go over this stuff pretty quick, and then I'm going to get into this.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Check your email. You should have that.
5-step sales process. This is very easy to follow. Once you're in the home, you build rapport to the point of trust. That's your first key. When I walk in the house, obviously I'm looking around trying to see what I can get familiarized with. I seen a woman, she loves the Buccaneers, but her husband loves the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously I have a connection there. You know what I mean? So it was, and that helps. That took a room that wasn't associating insurance with me very well at all to opening new doors for me to speak to them. And then the rapport part was very easy at that point. Find the need. Guys, when we find a need, that's a part of the process that I do in the sales. When I show you guys how to write this, I'm going to get this off the board soon so I can write more stuff. But when I find the need, I use this process here. I always told you guys, I write their names at the top of the board here. I write their ages right here, both of them. I write about inflation. I use inflation as a big one against these people. I use their level income against them. Looks like that. Level income. And I use tax increases against them. So if somebody tells me I got a $5,000 policy, I'll say, hey, that's beautiful for today. And I really hope that you want cremation. But the problem is that it's 4% a year at funeral homes in inflation. So what equals 3,000 today is going to be more like 6,000 in the next 15 years. So you better get on the ball. Let's get you a little more. And I can get you more for less or more for the same amount. So let's change your policy out, get you some cash value where we're at. So this is an important part of the process here. This level income line, this line up here that's hard for me to follow, that's inflation. Remember, 4% a year. Honestly, write this down because this little thing has made me more money than anything else I've ever done. Really, it's made me a lot of money because they need to have pictures. I also have PowerPoints coming to you guys, so you can actually have a flip chart to just go through for final expense and mortgage protection. So when you're in the home, you're just going to have a flip chart. It's going to be very simple for you guys to get through the process. And that's through our man Josh, one of the highest selling mortgage protection guys in the company. If you guys need some more training, you all go to that brokertraining.brokersinc.com and everybody should have unique writers by now. If you're a part of this business and you haven't gotten to unique writers yet, something's wrong. I mean, you're not punching in, you don't know what the hell's going on. So everybody needs to have a unique writers link. Go get it because it's very powerful strategies, tools, and techniques. All the PDFs are there. All the scripts are there. All the carriers are there. Everything you need is there. I'll get that in a second, Robert. Present 3. I'm sorry. You build rapport. You find the need. What is a need? Well, it's anything that's voided for now or the future. So what are we looking for? We're looking for voids in financial disabilities that are there into the future, meaning that Mrs. Jones has Mr. Jones passed and they have 2 Social Securities in place. One is taken off. She gets the one of the higher, and now she has one voided out. So what we need to do is get her that extra income that she needs because that income doesn't start for 6 to 12 months. So hypothetically, Mrs. Jones has $700 a month coming in. Mr. Jones has 16. When he dies, she survives off $700 for the worst case scenario, a year of her life, meaning she's not going to be able to afford the bills. So use that technique strategy to get into homes when you're presenting in homes to be able to sell policies because it's factual. You're not lying, guys. It's fact. Present 3 options. I sometimes present 6 options. I do this in a way where I will have one sheet where it's lower numbers, and after I've gone over the budget, which I'm going to do in a minute, I will have 3 other options that are higher than the other 3. So sometimes I do that. And before you get into a home, Jerome, you can always do the small numbers. It's the higher numbers that are a little harder to figure out. So go a little higher than the final expense, see what you come up with, do the best case scenario starting at the lowest number, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 or above. Give 3 options, write them down before you get into the house, have those options already written in case they're healthy. And then when you're in front of the individual, you can have the 3 of the worst case scenarios. Jerome, when you get in the house today, the only option she has is 1, she's going to be graded or modified. That's basically one and the same. If you don't know the difference, you need to ask. 2, she's going to be completely fine and healthy, and she's going to get the regular product that's level. So write those down even before you get into the home. It'll make your life a lot easier having your numbers already prepared. What carrier do you use? Well, anybody that accepts a 74-year-old. I don't know. Does anybody know who accepts a 74-year-old? Anybody? On final expense? Heather, you know?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. So find the need, present 3 options, close the deal. When you close the deal, you're writing the app. I want you to still be building rapport, by the way, while you're writing apps. So continue talking, getting to know them, to get them to know a little something about you too. After you know a lot about them, you may want to tell them why you're there in the beginning. Hi, Mrs. Jones. I'm here through the state of Florida. I'm just here to help you with your options. God forbid something happens to Mr. Jones. I'm the guy they send out to help you with your options. So I'm going to get you the best price for the most amount and the best cash value options. So in case you need money later, you have the option to have it. Talk about cash values. Why would you not talk about cash values? I mean, I don't understand why people leave that part out when it's such a vital part of their money. I want to know where my money's going. Why the hell would I want to know if it's going into a 3% interest earning cash bucket? You know, I'm not just owning life insurance, but it comes with the opportunity to take a loan against it. So please talk about cash value. Closing the deal, and do not run out the door after you close the deal. Cool the hell down. Get them to know you as a person now. Tell them that you deliver the policies. Some of these policies are delivered to you. I know that LSW IULs are. You go deliver the damn things, or at least give them the option. And before any one of you delivers an LSW policy, we need to go over that, because there's some information inside that could hurt you that they may read that you don't know about yet. So go over that with me or Alyssa before you deliver those policies. The cool down, very important. This is a part where the referrals can come out, guys. So get the referrals. Don't be a salesman, be an expert. Don't be a salesman, just you're the expert. How long have you been doing this? I don't care if you've been doing this 6 months. Don't let them know. How long have you been doing this? A long time. You know? God, it's been so long. I've been doing this so long. You know, I help 3-4 people a day. Know, like, and trust you. Everyone on here sells on that first. If they know, like, and trust you, you got a deal. You know, you really do have a deal under those circumstances sometimes. Money doesn't even washes out the door. If people have a fear of making mistakes, if you can avoid them having the fear of making mistakes, false evidence appearing real. So get them, that's why you need to be writing stuff. The numbers, math, where I put math in. But mathematics always makes sense. It says do the math and be honest. Do the math. If you do the math, you cannot fail. Let's stop there. I'm going to go over something with you. I want you, and I'm doing the sheets over the weekend for you guys, which means I'm going to write down how I pull the money out of people, which means I know exactly what's going out and what's coming in. Mrs. Jones, you guys are on Social Security. Is that right? Yeah. Social Security. What's that bring in for you guys about? Oh, so about $1,400. Is that each, or is that one of you? Oh, that's just me. Okay. What's Mr. Jones? He's $1,500. I do the math. Now I know what. It's $1,500, and that's $2,900 a month they get coming in. So $2,900 a month coming in. That's not the number we're going to work from. We need the last number on the list. Do the big numbers. Do this mortgage. Do the car. Do the car insurance. Do the life insurance. Do the health insurance, co-pays on meds. do the pet, do the food in the fridge. And I know these already. 50 to 100 bucks a week is food in the fridge. Do they eat out? Find numbers you can hit on. Do they smoke? Use numbers against them because they can't afford it. If they can afford their lifestyle now, they can afford life insurance. It's not too far outside their budget. So finding the number. Let's go to the end. $500 to $1,000 a month is left over. That's the number you're using to find the premium for your new life insurance program or product for them. Learn products every 2 days. Guys, I do this now. I'm trying to learn a product every 2 days. If you go to uniquewriters.com, you'll be able to find the products or call your carriers and figure that part out with them. Do the webinars that they host. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to pull up. For those of you that just got on here or listening by phone, I am going to pull Robert, who's on my team. He's in Orlando area. And he's just been, he's great at sales. There's just no doubt. He just needs a little tweak on his phone script. So what we're going to do is we're going to dial his phone, his leads for him. I'm going to set his leads and his appointments up for him. And I'm going to fire through these as quickly as possible. And then I was thinking about like once a week doing this for everybody, to be honest with you. Okay, here they come, ladies and gentlemen. While we're waiting for this, can you tell us how you got those sales?
What sales? Which sales?
Oh, I was talking to Heather, buddy.
Oh.
Let me unmute her. Heather, you're unmuted. Can you tell us how you got those sales?
Just working on rapport with the people once I got in the house and finding out how much they needed and what would work in their budget.
So did you hear the word need? Finding how much they needed. But beyond that, I know when she meant what she meant to say was she found the need, period. You know, she also found out how much they need. Did they have life insurance already?
One of the people did.
Did you leave that life insurance on the table or take it off?
We replaced it.
Okay, there you go. Did they have cash value with it?
Like maybe a couple $100.
There's their first couple premium payments, or helps out anyway, right?
Right.
So that's all good there. Why don't you tell us, tell me how many appointments you set, Heather. I'm going to go get my landline. Tell this group how many appointments you set, how many sits you had, and how many sales you made.
Okay. I had 6 appointments originally set. I sat with 3 and sold 4 apps.
Yeah, that's nice. I saw that on GroupMe, Heather. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Did you just say you sat with 3 but sold 4?
Yes.
Well, can you tell us how you did that?
I was sitting with the lady and her son came over and I told him what I do and she told him to sit his ass down.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if she would have let that one go? Told him what I do. All she did was tell him what I do. And then you said, would you be interested in looking at a number for yourself? Something like that.
Right.
Okay, Robert, do you have any certain times that are open? Do you want certain times on your book?
No, just book up. Actually, book up past 10 on.
10 a.m. on, okay. I'll start at 10 and then go from there. I'm not sure what I'll get a hold of, guys, as usual. You know this is live, so this isn't always the proper science.
You have all the lead sheet? Yeah, obviously you do, I guess.
I believe I do, bud.
Yeah, 20 of them.
Yeah, so everybody get their, this is final expense too, right?
Yeah.
Brand new leads here, guys. So let's see what we can do here for Robert and see if we can learn a little something on the phone. I'm just winging it today. No warm up today. I know they're 61. They live in Daytona Beach. Favorite color, it should be blue. I think. favorite color is blue. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Next, we want to dial. Hey, look, by the way, there's a difference between dialing and just going through this list. I could call this list 100 times. That would be a dialing session.
Now, are you calling that same number back?
No. I'm going to run through these, see what that hosts, but that could be a strategy too. You can definitely get the annoying factor going.
I call them 4 times a pop, writing them back to back to back, from cell phone, landline, and Google Voice.
There you go. I mean, I totally agree with that. That's good you brought that up. I agree with that totally. Hey, here's what you're going to notice. The people that are on here, you got Jerome. I want you all to applaud Jerome. He's gotten into 4 homes last week. This guy wasn't really getting into homes before. He's got another one on the books today. I mean, this guy's got a lot going on now that he never had going on. And I'd like to think that I had a little something to do with that, Jerome. But it all really comes down to what actions you took after getting the education that I'm obviously blessed with, because I studied the same crap you're learning, you know? I've been in that seat. I'm still in that seat, man. We got a 56-year-old who I better get the name of.
Terry,
thank you. I want people to put some objectionable questions together today, please. I want somebody to try to stump me, either in a home or on the phone. Try to stump the trainer. I need to find somebody that can come up with a question that would be asked by a client, either in a home or on the phone, that would get me into a predicament that I wouldn't know the answer to. And there are some, if you ask the right one, but I honestly just want to know what you may be running into that may have you walking out of the home without a sale. If you guys aren't making sales, there's also obviously some issues, and the only way we can correct them is with this group right here. Don't try to correct it on your own. It takes so many weeks to do that. I mean, eventually you'll run into the answer, but.
Hello?
Hi, is Deborah there?
This is she.
Hi, Deborah. My name is, I'm doing a follow-up call to the call you received the other day about the final expense information. And I'm the rep that handles that area. How you doing today? You good?
I'm doing okay.
Great, Deborah.
I'm really not interested, okay?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's just information. So it's, you know, it's not going to kill you to take that. I'll tell you, these days, Deborah, after 15 years of owning this agency,
Sure, thank you.
oh, you'll have that, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to change it up a little bit. I asked her how she was doing. And my brain clicked with that. I said, I'm going to ask her how she's doing. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have continued. When you ask them how they're doing in between, it always seems to go that route right there. And if for whatever reason my brain said, ask her how she's doing when I know not to. So don't ask how she's doing. Just continue through the flow of that script. Hi, Deborah. My name's Jason. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call you received the other day about the final expense information. I'm the rep that handles that area. Will you and Mr. Jones be available tomorrow at or Monday at 10 a.m.? So besides the point, that was my first one, and these are kind of tough to get in order here. Okay, so if that's Deborah, this one will be Leonard. Oh, I think they put them on one sheet, please. Okay, Leonard, come across here. We're going to go to Leonard. One, 3, 8, 6, 2, 5, 3, 7, 7, 5, 0. And this is why it's vital, as you can see, that his next order goes in this week, because this list might be good for next week, but it may not be good for today. You know what I'm saying? I've already dialed 5 people. I got a hold of 1. So what's my ratio on the board, you know? But that script was fairly simple. And it's not the leads, guys. We're all using the same stuff. If people are putting big numbers up across the nation and the company's earning $1 million a week, People were out there selling. Stop blaming the leads. Put the blame on your own game, and then hone in on where the issues may be. And 9 times out of 10, it's either in the script, in the presentation, or in the lead order. It's one of those three to make it easy on you to understand. And some of you might be saying, well, Jay, I don't have any money for leads. Well, that's why they're giving them away now. All you have to do is put them down for 50% of the sale. And
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
you guys will be able to put them down for 50% of the sale. For those of you that don't know, the company has now come up with a new program for leads, for new reps or anybody for that matter, who wants to get into appointments. They will literally set the appointment for you. You put them down for 50% of the sale, and you need to call Patrick Pasco to get all the answers about it, because it is new. And check that program out. If you're not getting into homes and you need money and you don't have lead money, be a part of that program. We only have 20 leads here, guys, to dial, and then I'm going to go over some in-home sales. I want Jerome to be ready, so he's got another sale. Jerome was at 4 appointments. He's actually probably been in 6 so far since he started studying this stuff. I know it's now in his in-home presentation, so I need to get him some ideas on how to present this stuff while he's in the house, which will go for all of you.
Hello, please leave a message.
I hope that anybody that's new on here does not leave messages. I have tried it in the past to just say, hey, Denise, this is Jay. Give me a call back. And it's like a door sticker. If it becomes worst case scenario, you can do that. For those of you that are not making any money and sit on a bundle of leads and say people aren't answering the phone, take it to their door this week. Go on Google Maps, make a list up, and get into people's homes. Robert, I gotta shrink this sucker up.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. It's long, man. It's a lot of.
Right. I'll tell you what, you can help me out by finding the next one like I'm on and tell me who I need to be down. And,
Who are you on? Who are you on right now? Pamela?
I'm on Pamela. Yeah, if you can shoot me the number,
Yeah.
tell me it and I'll dial it. Hang in there, guys. We're trying to do live calls here, and it's not always that easy. I'm dialing Robert's leads to get him trained on how to set appointments, and it's kind of difficult to read this thing here, so I'm going to try. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. Hold on. I got a better angle this way. Okay, I got it. Forget it. I got it. Duh. Okay, hang in there, everybody. We're going to see some magic in the end. We got a 65-year-old that is Pamela. Is that correct?
No, Denise. We should be on our Irma.
I did Denise. I am on
Pamela. Pamela.
So the dialing session should, Alyssa spent, they gave us 300 leads in Tampa. Hi, is Denise there? Hi, I'm sorry, is Pamela there?
Can't take your call now.
That's voicemail. She got 300 leads, dialed like 30 of them, set 9 appointments on Monday. It was old leads there, and we made a couple sales. We had to drive to Tampa. That was 2 hours away. I trained a rep while I was there. So at the end of the day, you can't always get to everybody. And somebody's like, why did you set that many appointments if you couldn't get to everybody? Well, it doesn't matter. I will reset the ones I didn't get to, but I know while I'm 3 hours away that I have somebody to see every hour on the hour. You know how she did that? She sat there for 3 hours setting appointments. So I'm sure she dialed more than 30. That was an understatement, but
You should be on 407-323.
I'm past that right now. I just dialed that one.
I mean, sorry, 386-532, that one.
And times you guys call too. This Saturday morning is great. If you got, this is only 20 leads. To me, I have 3 books on the floor full of people, and that's how we do it. So it's taken time to accumulate that. But the investment I was never afraid of. I would take the car payment and the rent and throw it down on leads before I made the car payment and rent. I can always tell them to wait another month. I know I'm going to make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. Hi, is Irma there? Irma. Julia. I can't hear. Eugene. I think it's Eugene.
Yeah, this is the one with no address. It's in West Palm Beach.
Oh, I got you. I don't really want to.
Call him. Call him.
All right.
Hello, this is Gene with Pro Window and Door. Please leave a message.
Pro Window and Door. So he's a company owner.
Thank you.
That's a good one, That's a different, he sounds healthy, 65. I would use the larger products on him. 9 times out of 10, but it's up to you.
Hey, do we have any companies that that do life insurance for entire companies, like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 employees?
Sure. Yeah, it's all that you have to contact the inner workings of the company to get a group discount deal.
Right.
But that could definitely be pulled off, yeah. And then when we get all through this, guys, we're going to go over this board one more time. And I'm going to go over a presentation. And I'm going to use one of you as my guinea pig.
Can
Yeah.
Tim?
The only issue is that, I'm going to do, even if we don't get a hold of anybody, I'm almost through the list, but even if we don't get a hold of anybody, I'm going to fire off. I'll use, Heather to do a phone call with, and we'll do one that's very simple, and I'm going to do one that stumps the hell out of people. I want to fire every freaking objection you could possibly get at me, and then we're going to get around these objections. Once and for all, it's about being tough, it's about being smart, and it's about being educated. And if you are all those 3 things, you will always get into a house. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts, unless you get them to hang up on you. But I want you to go until you're hung up on. Go until they hang up on you. What do you got to lose? Let me tell you something. They said yes to it. If you played the recording back on this, they said it was okay to get the information out to them. So when you're dialing these things, just understand that the individual that I'm dialing has already confirmed that it's okay for me to get them this information. All I'm doing on this phone is getting this individual, Yvonne, information. That's it. That's the whole job for now. I'm an information carrier. I'm like UPS in a hot car. Wired out on coffee and enthusiasm. Jerome, wake up.
Hi, you reached Yvonne. I'm sorry I can't get.
All this is coming down to is that the leads are non-responsive in a way where they're not answering, which is okay. This does not mean this is a bad lead batch at all. But let's see what we got. We got a few more. Let's see how many we get out of 20 today. And these are new. But all day long, I honestly, God, I'm telling you guys, you get the 30 and above marker in your lead orders, and you're going to have a different world. And because it's going to add up. How much is 30 times 4.3 weeks in a month? Mathematically. Is that 120? Somebody has the name, first name Freeman. And in the state of Florida, by the way, it's a, with the ages I'm seeing on here, it is a very sunny day out. There is no ifs, ands, or buts in the area that they are living in. Hi, is Freeman there?
Tell me, Joy, and be glad you have reached the home of Freeman and Helen Henson. Sorry we cannot come to the phone right now.
Did you hear what I heard? I heard the name Helen. So write that down. That's his wife's name. Freeman's the man, Helen's the wife. I would assume it's that way. Never guess, because I've walked in a situation where it's been boy on boy and girl on girl. Okay, let's get Jerome ready almost. We're going to get through this and then get Jerome prepared for his sale in the house today. And if anybody can help him with any sales tips, let's get Jerome correct before he walks into his 12 noon sale. He's been good enough to himself to come on here, give a couple tips. But I want to make sure that I do him right by not just dialing these telephone numbers today, but giving him some strategies that he's going to use inside the house.
Hello?
Hi, is Dane there?
Who?
Dane? Miss Brown?
Robert Brown?
Is Brown, Mr. Brown there?
Who's calling?
This is Jason.
From where?
I'm calling about the final expense information you guys requested the other day, that phone call that you guys received. And it says Dane, D-A-Y-N-E.
Hey, D-A-Y is my name.
Oh, they put N-E. Sorry about that. My name's Jason, and we're the people that handle that area. We wanted to see if you'd be around on Monday, you and the mister, so we could drop the information off and just make sure that we do the right thing by you guys on Monday after 10 a.m.
Put this one. Robert died in 2015.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's just you. Does anybody help you make important decisions, Miss Day?
No.
Okay, so it'd just be you. So Robert will be there at 10 a.m. on Monday. You'll be there?
Can't do that. No, I gotta go to the hospital and get my staples on my back.
Oh, I got you. So how about later on in the evening after you're done?
I don't know if they'll keep me or not. I don't know how bad my surgery's gonna be.
Oh, I got you. I'll tell you what then. We'll call you back on Monday, see where you're at.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. So just write down Day. Got to call her after some crazy surgery.
Gotcha. Ask her, we'll call her back, find out where her surgery is. I'll go to the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk to her after surgery, but
I'll sit with her in the hospital.
you can call her back. And
I will.
I'm just trying to get the main part of this out, but yeah, I mean, he can do that. He can call her and ask her what hospital she's at, but because she's very talkative. Hi, is James there?
Hold on.
Thanks. James, this is Jason. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call you received yesterday. Was this yesterday or 2 days ago?
It was like 3 days ago.
Okay. That first line. Hi, James. My name's Jason. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call you received about 3 days ago on that final expense information. I'm the guy that gets you that information out, James. I wanted to confirm some information and make sure I got that information out to you. You're 70 years of age, James, is that right?
Right.
Got it. And you live at 1656 Cedar Highlands Boulevard?
Right.
Are you still married, James?
Right.
I'll tell you what, since I'm down the road from you, you and your wife could be around after 10 a.m. on Monday.
No.
How about after what?
It'll be around 4:30 at 5 o'clock.
I'll tell you what, then 5 or 5:30 works good. Then I can fit you in because then I got another one down the street from you too. That would help me out tremendously. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be at that location at 5 or 5:30. You'll be there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do me a favor and write this down into my schedule, James. Would you mind taking a couple notes down for me so we can make sure we're on the same page on Monday?
Had to make it quick. We're walking out the door.
Yeah, okay. All I need you to know is, Robert, we'll see you on Monday. You and the missus, make sure she's there too, please, at 5 o'clock on Monday, boss.
She's not interested.
Well, I just need her there just to ask, just to make sure she understands what we're doing with you. I know she may not be interested. As long as she's in the house or in the facility of the home, that'd be good.
Okay.
But thanks for helping me out there.
All right.
I'll see you on Monday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we repeated it. We made sure that they knew. Very simple script. I mean, honestly, how long did that take me? From front to finish, we're talking 15, 20 seconds. And the most of the time spent in the dialing, that's why you need leads. Because if you got that script down, you're going to set when you get hold of people.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick before my pin just took a crap on me. I got to go grab another one.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep dialing too. It'll be recorded, everybody. All these are recorded. So if you want to see any of the past 7, 8 that we've done, you can have access to them. I got 3 more, guys, and then we're going to get into the sales process. So let's go over the script real quick, and then we'll go through a little sales presentation. We'll get you guys off. I want any requests from you guys on what to do in future webinars. So if you guys could send me an email allowing me to know what you want to learn, and we could spend an hour, 30 minutes to an hour just on those subjects from this point on. If you tell me what you need, it's probably important that we start pulling the sales process apart, picking pieces of it apart, and really diving in deep to each individual piece that you may miss. If you're missing it, somebody else is too. So believe me, you're helping somebody. So how do you say S-U-S-I-C-E? Sucise?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, we are not.
2 more. And then what you're going to do, Robert, is you're going to get back on the horn and you're going to redial these, because this isn't a bad list. It's just the fact is I haven't reached anybody.
No, it's a good list.
It is a very good list. And I'd love you to get 20 more good lists. Everybody's going to buy leads this week. I got a great feeling about this week, man. Heather's going to do 15 grand. Jerome's going to do 1,200 today. Noden's going to see his first 5K week. Robert's going to see 10 to 12.
Hello, we
And
are
I'll
available now.
try to go for 40.
Leave your name and phone number.
Is that okay?
You will return your call.
All right, one more, guys. One more. And let's get down and dirty. Hey, guys, when you do me a favor, a lot more people have been on this, believe me, since the day we started. There's people listening from telephones and things like that, too. It's because you guys have been so helpful in putting this up on GroupMe. If you can put it up on Facebook and Instagram or wherever the hell else you're at, LinkedIn, it's going to help us recruit new people, too. And if you remember the name of the individual that's on your LinkedIn or Facebook, then it becomes your rep. So start introducing these trainings throughout your social media, and I promise you we will start recruiting a team that is not just any team, but they are well trained and make you money, not by our own efforts, but by Jay's efforts on these things, because I'm going to start doing these twice a week. Because I want to put an annuity webinar together that's just based upon how I did 22 last year. I'm up to 13. I'm sitting on $1 million in annuities still, and hell, sometimes I don't even know how I do it, but at the end of the day, it gets done. You know, think about that. I don't know how I do it, but it gets done. So it's not, it used to be scary as shit to me. Robert, that's done, buddy.
Cool. I'll go back through them.
I'm going to mark these are yours. But these are back. Go back through this once we're done, okay?
I will.
And thank you for letting us use your leads for that. Yeah. We got 1 for you, though, bud.
We got 1.
Maybe 2. So think about it. He has 2 sales with his skills in there. He paid a couple bucks for these leads. I predicted if he would sell 50%, it becomes a $500 to $1,000 gig for him. In one day, he either makes $200 to $1,000. Not a bad day. So that's what my prediction would be out of just those 2 individuals that we would have set. So let's go through this. Jerome has a sale at 12 o'clock noon, okay? So I want anybody that can help him to get involved in this and just try to throw in some strategies and tips. Jerome, when you walk through that door, I want you to have a stern ability to say, hey, Mr. Jones, hi, Mrs. Jones, and I want you to find the table. Don't let them lead you, okay? Be very tough about this. Go in and get to that table and just say, I have things that I want to lay down on the table and show you. This is going to help me help you better. So once we get to the table, Mrs. Jones, I want you to take your pen and paper out, and I want you to write their names at the top of the sheet. I want you to write their ages and just put a line under it. Then I want you to fill what up.
No, I was just going to ask Jerome, is this for mortgage protection or final expense?
Jerome.
He's on mute, Jason.
Sometimes you got to speak up. Jerome, is this for mortgage protection?
Final expense.
Got it. So we have final expense lead. He has one. Is there one person there, or did you remember? And you got to be honest about this. Did you say?
Okay, well, from me talking to her and everything else, she's 80 years old. She's doesn't have a spouse.
Okay.
She has 10,000 of insurance coverage already, and her son is the beneficiary.
Okay. Learn the son is the beneficiary. So if I were to say the one mistake you may have made already is asking her, is there anyone that helps you make important decisions? Maybe the mistake number one. Just asking. She may say no. Okay. So
I did not ask that.
okay. Well, Jerome's always honest. That's what you can get out of him. So here's where the ball may fumble while he's in the house, is due to that factor, because it may be the son that she has to go to. If that's the case, it's Saturday. You get him on a three-way call. You put him on speakerphone. Just ask to call him while you're in the house, okay? You have $10,000. Your first step is to ask her, build a little rapport. Hi, Mrs. Jones. This is a great place. I'm going to treat you just like we're in my office, okay? I want to make sure that you are well taken care of, and you never have to go through this again.
Jay, hey, may I say something? May I say something? Hey, Joel, I use this line all the time, man, and it's phenomenal. Say, hey, Mrs. What's her name?
Georgianne.
Miss Georgianne. Let me do. Is it okay if I talk to you and treat you like you're my mother?
Oh, okay.
And
Well, I'll tell you what. That's a good one, but I've actually had people, that have had bad relationships with their mother, and that's the only thing you toss that off. So I like it in some cases, but that's okay to say that. You got to be careful. I've had that a lot of times be thrown off, and it's not a bad thing that it gets tossed off. I can get it back on track. But if you're treating her like her mother, it's kind of like a line she may have heard before. Okay, it could have been said already. It's a very usual thing to say, but it could be used. Don't get me wrong. Just be very aware that you're the expert. And experts don't need to treat anybody like their mother. They need to treat them like their associated client. So that's your client for now. I want to paint a picture of this just being your client for now. So as now she's a prospect to you. You have $10,000 to work with, okay? This is a prospect. She is not your client yet. So from a prospecting point of view, you're prospecting. I want you to find out who this $10,000 is with. I need you to get her to pull the app out. If her son has the app or she does not have the app, find out who the company is. If she can't remember who the company is, you need to find an account information. It'll say who the company is on her account information or banking information. I need you to call that company up. I want you to find out how much cash value is in there.
Okay.
This is a part of setting on a weekend, guys, that could hurt this part of the process. But maybe it's a larger company, maybe they're open. Cash value. Find out what the premiums are, obviously.
Okay.
And then find out what kind of percentages she's earning on her cash value. Is she earning any interest on her cash value? If
They're
she's
going to give you that deer in the headlight look,
Well, that's not for you to ask her. That's for you to ask the company.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Yeah, you got that right. She'll be like, what the hell is he talking about? Now, they may know. You might be interesting to walk into a woman that's very wise beyond her years, too. So she's 74. Is that correct?
80.
Oh, she's 80. Can anybody tell me what kind of products they would think that they would use on an 80-year-old woman? Non-smoker.
Not a smoker.
LSW Foundation.
There is an LSW Foundation that could be used, but I'm not sure if, Jerome, you don't have the apps yet, right?
Right.
Okay. So if she was extremely healthy, what you could do is you could go back, but I hate you to waste that. Now, you do have Mutual of Omaha, don't you?
Yeah, I have Mutual Omaha.
Now, he could write the Mutual of Omaha. What's the GUL that's that goes to $100,000, Heather?
Yeah, it starts at 100.
Yeah, that one. Run that premium before you even leave.
That premium
Computer that has
is $547.93 per month.
it's $547 for $100,000, right?
For 100, yeah, for the low.
Okay. Now think about that. Now, let me tell you something about this sale. That's the number I would go for first. That's where I start. So what you see as a fearful situation for her, I see as this. Miss Jones, if you pay $547, your best ROI on this situation is that you could die tomorrow and leave your family with $100,000, right? Worst situation is this, is that you just end up building a cash value equity. So what is 547 times 12 months?
547 times 12?
Anybody have a calculator, man? I need more.
Yeah, it's
I'm getting it right now.
$6,564.
One more time, Robert.
It's $6,564.
Okay, $6,564. Take 50% of that and just subtract that, which is about $3,250. I want you to add 3% to that. See what that number comes to.
Plus 3%, 3250.
Yeah, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this.
Okay, that's $97.05.
Okay, so she made $97 that year. So that's about what the cash value will look like. So that's what you can tell her. This is a savings account too. So if you use this number and this kind of calculation, I usually take about 20%. I put it towards the face amount. I tell them that this 20% is going towards the 100 grand or 30%. The rest is going towards the cash value. So two things you got. You got a 547 bit that scares the hell out of most salespeople to present. Your job is not to guess how much value. Now, she may be broke, because the first thing you're going to do is do the illustration or find the need in a way where you're going to list. You've got an 80-year-old woman who's going to be game with this. Mrs. Jones, let's go over a couple things. What's your mortgage about a month? Okay, and then find the mortgage. What's your electric bill a month? List it. Everything you can think of, guys. What are your bills? Every one of you. What do you pay monthly? List them here. Okay, get that number. That's the last number I want you to use, man. Find that number, Jerome. And whatever that number comes to is the number you have left over to use. And then I want you to divide that by 2, because even that number's wrong. Most of the time they use more than they tell you. Miscellaneous numbers we miss. So let's say she has an income of $1,200 a month due to Social Security. What part of the city does she live in? Where does she live? Does she live in a rural, rich area or a broke?
No, based on the address, I would say that it is more low income.
Okay, there you go. So let's say that she's at 735. Let's do worst case scenario right now. She's not, let's take that one off the board, but don't leave it behind. Bring it. You never know. I tell them, call your family members up, tell them to pitch into one bucket, and everybody pitches in on 100 grand. 735 a month is as low as she can go due to disability or Social Security, okay? So that's her income. Let's say she has $30 a month left over. Who could come up with a plan for an 80-year-old woman who has anywhere between 30 and $50 a month left over? And Jerome, you're probably going to take that other one off the table. If she wants more insurance, she's better off using the premium from the other policy to pitch into the new one than holding on to that. Unless she's graded or modified, then don't touch it and add more onto it. But if she's asking for more life insurance, take the old one off, get her the cash value, ask her if she needs money, ask her how long the old policy's been in play. If it's been in play more than 5 years, then there's cash value built up. Do the premium, know the premium, call the company, the carrier of the other individual. So I want you to tell us what you're going to do when you walk in that house.
Who, me?
You.
Well, first of all, I'm going to build rapport with her.
There you go.
Trying, and then work on the fact of trying to get to the table so we can sit there rather than at the living room in front of the TV.
That's right. That's the first thing you're going to do. And I know you put you on a spot here. So when you're building rapport, you're going to find the need, okay? When you're in the house, you're going to find the need. A part of finding the need is finding the money. If each and every one of you finds the money, you'll always have a policy. Guys, there's things that they can knock off the bill. If Mrs. Jones ever tells you her cable bill's $300 a month, well, freaking, I've gotten on the phone with cable companies and said, look, Mrs. Jones, here's a better deal. I found you the same thing for half the price. I've used that number to sell policies. I swear to God I have. Okay? You guys got to go deep, man, and think. Think for these people. They are, I don't want to call them names. They don't think for themselves, and they haven't in years. That's why they're in a jam. Your job is to find the money. Find the money, Jerome. Present the options. All right? So
this is where I'm kind of stuck.
Okay. Finding the options. Heather, can you help him find options, honey?
I'm sorry, I was away and just got back. I missed.
Okay, here's what Jerome has. We are in a home where we are building rapport, okay? He has an 80-year-old woman. He has, she has $10,000. We're not sure what program she has, with who, what carrier. Her beneficiary is the son. Now, on the phone, he didn't ask if there was anybody that helps her make important decisions. There's no significant other. So each and every one of you on the phone, if there's no significant other, you need to say these next few words. Who helps you make important decisions, or is there anybody that helps you make important decisions, Mrs. Jones? That way you're not doing a one-legger. So what she's probably going to do is say, I have to ask my son. Don't get that in your brain too deep, because if she does have to ask the son, get him on the phone right there, right then and there, okay? If not, set another appointment from that appointment. Don't just walk out of there with nothing, okay? So she has a $10,000 policy that she's had, we don't know how long, Heather. She's 80 years old, non-smoker. We figure that she's in a broke area of town. So she may have $735 to $1,000 a month coming in. There may be $30 to $50. I told him to use the other policy. If it's not a graded situation, take that one off the table, replace it with a new one to get her more. I want everybody to know that you can get people usually a higher product if you use the premium from the other product that she already has in place. Instead of getting two policies, leaving the old one there and getting a new one in place, that if you take the premium from the old one and add those two together, it's usually larger than having two separate policies. So let's say that she has $30 to $50 a month, Heather, left over. Let's say she's not graded. What product could we get her? Anybody know? Anybody? Does anybody know what we should use? What should he use? Because that's where he's getting stumped. What to use in the house. He doesn't know what product to use.
I mean, she has $30 to $50 a month left over.
About that, yeah. We're going to guess that, yeah.
Living Promise.
Living Promise.
Mm-hmm.
Any reason why you guys would choose that? Is there a reason?
It's usually the best bang for your buck.
Best bang for your buck. Beyond Mutual. And Prosperity. The two differences between the two is price, is what I'm trying to say. The difference is we're looking for the lower premium at this point because she's in an area where it's less money. But if he runs into the situation where she does have money, and for God knows why, find the money. Ask her if she has any retirement plan. Even if they're broke, ask for a retirement plan. I found a woman in the hood the other day living on a government-paid issued place where she was in a car accident and just got issued $250,000 for the car accident, sitting in her bank account for 6 months, doing nothing with it. We're writing her an annuity for it. So now she has a steady income, and you never know what you're running into, trust me. So ask about retirement plans, anything coming in other than what the Social Security brings her, okay? Pension, things like that. Jerome, make sure you find the money. Find that money, okay? Then find the need. The need is what? What does she want to do, Jerome? Ask this. Mrs. Jones, would you like to have are you doing cremation or are you going to do a burial? I'm going to do a cremation. Well, today's prices, that's about anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000. You look pretty healthy. Let's say that you live another 10 years. That's going to be more like $3,000 to $6,000, babe. You're going to need more cash than this 10. Do you want to leave money behind? Start targeting kids, grandkids. Use the heart, use the love section of this. Meaning, get her to start thinking about her loved ones and the punishment that she's gone through in life financially, and she could change their situation by leaving each one of them an extra $1,000. So if we have $30 on the table or $50, let's say that we use the old policy. Let's say that one's about $30. It's probably like $50, $60 she has on the table right now. So if you take that old one off and you know she's getting more, she wants to look at more, then you probably have anywhere from $50 to $100. Can anybody tell Jerome what number $50 to $100 comes to? Or can anybody calculate that pretty quick on the phone? Do you have the app on your phone, I hope, Jerome, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have
And
all?
yeah.
Okay, good. What number does that come to? Let's see.
9843
For how much?
for 10,000 on Living Promise level.
Okay, can somebody do the other product and see what that would come to? I want to know the differences between the products. Hold on, Robert. Go ahead.
Prosperity?
Yeah.
Hey, do they have a quoting app? I can't find, or do you just go into their website?
Heather, does Prosperity have a quoting app, or is that just paperwork?
I haven't been able to find one.
I don't think there's one. I think it's just a packet that we got, but
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Does anybody on this thing know if they have, and you may have, I'm going to mute everybody out, but if you need to unmute yourself, go ahead. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to put a chat zone in here. Anybody that wants, they can ask questions, even if they're outside of this. I don't know who some of the people are on this thing, so if they don't like to be noticed or don't want to talk here, they can ask questions here. I would like to know the difference in price. No, Robert, the answer is no. Well, I don't have it with me, but I have a book put together with the price.
Prosperity for 10,000 female non-smoker is $98.30.
Which one's cheaper?
Prosperity by 13 cents.
13 cents. Now, when you show those two next to each other, you are now the savior that she needs. You now saved her 13 cents. Here's a question I have, though. I want you to pull that back to 5,000. I want to see the difference in prices versus 5,000 now, because sometimes there could be a little change. It could be interesting to see that the other one is a Mutual of Omaha could be less at this point. It sometimes does this, and for God knows what reason, but it's just their actuaries, I guess, how they put that together. We're going to make sure.
On 5,000, Mutual of Omaha beats Prosperity at
See
5.
what I mean? See what I mean?
Yeah, $50.95 on Prosperity
Okay.
and $50.82 on Mutual of Omaha.
Okay, well, still, it's a savings that people want to hear. Now, I'll put those two aside, and those are the ones that you're going to use. Now you have your plan. Now, if he were to get into a graded situation, guys, his options are, does anybody know the options that we have out there for graded products? All of them? Or do you guys just use Gerber?
It'd be Gerber for me.
Okay, yeah, got it. Well, I want everybody to go to get Settlers, too. Settlers pays within a 10-month period all the forward money, the advanced. So I think it's 10 months that you get it all. So it's a better system. I'm not sure if the price is better, though, but it does pay better. Okay, so everybody, let's help Jerome out. Robert, do you have any tips that you would give to Jerome in a house? Anything? Just
yeah, before Jerome, like before you present the numbers, like, you know, you're going through, you did your fire drill or your your bill analysis and you break it down, before you present her the numbers, I always say, hey, Miss Jones, there's only, we're to the point. I worked you up some quotes before I give you these. I'm going to be honest. There's only 3 reasons why people tell me they have to think about it. And it's where'd I go? It's A, I didn't do a good enough job explaining the coverage and making you see the value of what this is going to do for your family. B, it's you see the value of this coverage, but you have no interest in protecting your family. And C is we didn't find a plan to fit your budget. Now I want you to be honest with me, Miss Jones. If it's option 1 or 3, that's my fault, and we can do something about that. I can go back and explain it better, and we can find something that fits your budget. But if it's option number 2, go ahead and tell me right now, because I'm going to pack up. I'm not going to waste your time and my time, and I'm going to pack up and leave.
I love that because he's getting his way. He's going through. It's almost like going through the presentation again because you missed something, and the objection's not the real objection. If the money makes sense. It's always one or the other objections that come into play. Something's the real objection, and that's the one you're trying to find. What's the real objection? But he's hitting the nail on the head. You asked the questions properly. I think that was fabulous, Robert. Heather, any tips for Jerome in the house? You're unmuted.
Basically, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, you might find something that's literally like a quarter less a month that you can offer them than what they're paying now. It's all about the relationship you build with them. I've made a sale where they literally saved less than 50 cents a month, and there was absolutely no reason for them to switch other than they liked me.
Yeah.
Wow. Very important, right? You hear that, Jerome?
No.
Okay, speak up, Heather. Sometimes he doesn't get this stuff.
Oh, sometimes they don't get this stuff?
No, I'm saying sometimes you don't hear what people are saying, Jerome.
Well, that last thing I didn't, but everything else I've been following along.
Basically what she said is that the difference in price could be 50 cents. Like she's literally saving somebody 50%, 50 cents on a policy that they already have. She's exchanging the policy. She's taking one off the table, and all they're saving is 50 cents. So what she's saying is that she sold the deal on rapport building. They know, liked, and trusted her. That's why she sold the deal. So anybody else got anything to help Jerome out with?
Hey, Jerome,
Yeah.
One more thing, man. The first thing when you go in, after you sit at the kitchen table and you're building rapport for a few minutes and stuff like that, finding out, asking her about her family or whatever, however you build rapport, make it be known up front from the very beginning that you are here to get an application. However you want to say it, just be real transparent and say, hey, Miss Jones, my role here is, first off, I'm a broker. So what that means is I work with every insurance company in the country, and I shop around for you. And that kind of takes by letting her know that up front, that takes, I'm going to look around to other places. That takes that objection away because you've already shopped for her. You've shopped every insurance carrier in the country. And then transition into, I'm going to help you fill out an application today. We're going to find something that fits your budget today, and I'm going to help you apply for it. So just throw that out up front and let her know you're taking an application today.
Okay.
Here's the 1, 2, 3 zitty steps, Jerome. You're going to walk into this house. You're going to get to that table. If they don't have a table, get to the point where you're closest to this woman. I want you to help her. I want you to ask for a glass of water. I want you to get her rear end up, and I want her to get her working for you. All right? Get her up off the couch and go get a glass of water for me. Don't say it like that. Get her working for you. Mrs. Jones, you know what? I've been on the road all morning. Do you happen to have anything with caffeine in it? Or just, could you happen to have a glass of water? They start working for you at this point, okay? That's rapport building, okay? But psychologically, we don't understand what's going on. You will now. Understand that once you get her into motion, activity builds enthusiasm too. So if they're sitting there like a lump of log, movement will help them get more interested in what you're doing. It'll build energy and enthusiasm, endorphins. I used to use it in the health club business all the time. I used to sell after I did a personal training session. I never sold across the desk on somebody that was cool. I sat with people that were on fire. They were hot, man. They knew what was coming. I said, yo, it's $1,000 a month. How do you feel about them apples? And guess what? You're already spending it. Let's go over your eating habits, you know, your drinking, your smoking, things like that. The same characteristics in this sale are presented. You have to find the money. I want you to find the right money, which is what their bills are being spent. What bills are they spending money on? I want you to find the wrong money. What are they wasting money on? Every single month, do they eat out? Do they have a bad habit? Add those numbers up and tell them, Mrs. Jones, you really do have the money. So all I want you to do is smoke a half a pack of cigarettes less a week. I want you to eat out one less time a week. I want you to get rid of your stockbroker. Stop losing money there. Stop paying broker fees. Wherever you can find the money, find it. This chart here can help you, Jerome. This is a level income that she's going to have. If you draw this for her, you're painting a picture of the future. This is an inflation line. These are tax increases. This line up the middle. Tax increases, inflation is 4% a year. I think they lied to us. I think it's more. On some things, it gotta be. You know what I'm saying? I want you to flow. Do the steps. Go number one step. Get to the house, knock on the door. Mrs. Jones, I'm here to present. If she says, I can't do it today, just say, look, I'm in the area. This is gonna take literally 5 minutes. Let's just go over it right at the door. I'm going to get you some numbers. At least your last resort is to show her the numbers. Get her the information. Give her your business card. Make sure that they have all these things. When you sit down at the table, show her a business card. This is Jerome. This is what I do. Use the websites that the company offers. Show them that you have a website. If you don't have the innovative website, then use the One Life America website. Put it on your business card. You guys have websites to put on your business cards. Put them on. I want you to flow with this and step by step. Lastly, I want you to close this damn deal today. There is no question. You are not walking out of that house without a sale today. If you have any issues in the house, I want you to contact me by saying these words to her. Mrs. Jones, you know what? Before I leave, I got one more option. I'm going to see how many discounts I'm able to get you beyond this point. I have an idea. And then you're going to call me, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to act like the company. I want to know, I don't see many questions coming up. It's truly bugging me, to be honest with you. There's no way, unless all you were putting $30,000 a month on the board, that we don't have some questions that need answered. So please, you can stay anonymous. Just ask the question. I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to explain to you what we need for you to do while either on the phone. And right now, I'm going to go over my phone script for you guys again. So everybody that doesn't know this phone script needs to understand this. Here's how simple it is. Ring, ring. Hello, Mrs. Jones. My name is Jason, and I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you received yesterday. Think about that. If you're ordering new leads, the call was just made yesterday. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you received yesterday about the final expense information. I'm the rep that handles that area. I'll be in your area tomorrow. Can you and Mr. Jones please be there at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., whatever fits into your schedule, guys? If they say no, say, okay, you know what? I'm going to be back in that area later on that day. So is 5 p.m. work? No. Okay, I'll tell you what. Again, I'm going to be back in that area. It's going to be 8 p.m. There's always a time. That's not the excuse. So does anybody have any objections that they're getting inside the home or on the phone to where that we can help you? Objection time. Write your objections, please. Somebody fire an objection. Objection. Give me objections.
Hey, Jay, it's Christy.
What's up, girl?
When I was at the home the other day for Sarah Tetterstrom, when we were doing the Gerber for her,
Yes, ma'am.
We didn't do the sale because as we were there, as I was there was a company that came and repoed her vehicle as I was there.
Okay,
She started crying. She was all upset. She even asked me to borrow money from me to be able to get her car from being repoed. I went through and did her income and how much she makes and what's going out, and I did all of that stuff. And it ended up being to where she had $30 a month left over. She got really upset when they repoed her car. She started crying. She didn't want anything else to do with the life insurance. What should I have done differently that I didn't do to make that sale?
The answer to that question is nothing you can do. I knew about the car situation because obviously me and you were there the couple days before that. And there's nothing you can do. Here's what you can do. Is inside they call it a tickle file. If you guys get a file and you start separating by months, go from January all the way to January again. It's a tickle file. You put people inside it. I'm supposed to call this person next month. I'm supposed to call this person 3 months from now. Start getting a hold of people and then contacting them later on. Don't lose these people. Eventually, there's a tickle file can be used later on. Put her away for a month. Let her accumulate this. Let her absorb this. Put her away for a month. Call her in a month from now. That's all you can do with it. That's it. Now, on the flip side of this, this is where the leads come into play. The leads, man. You guys got to get this down. I mean, honestly, are you guys really ordering 20, 30, 40, 60 leads a week? And if not, why not? Let's talk about what you do. Why can't you? What's the problem with ordering that many? Does it take you outside your budget, or does it really just take you away from your eating out or spending money in a wasteful manner? I mean, when you can take this and just in a few months, you could really change your entire career. You could change your money. You can change everything about your situation if you took some money and trusted the system. And a lot of you don't trust the system yet. And I'll tell you what, neither did I in the beginning. But at the end of the day, it's all that you got. You don't have anything else, do you? I mean, some of you may have jobs, I guess, but that really shows you don't trust the system. You got to get all in. If you're messing around with this thing, if you do have a job, okay, and you're working because you got bills to pay, you got kids to feed, things like that, that's cool. I understand it. But then you're kind of voiding out the factor that you need to find a budget to put together to put an investment towards this business. Because if you're working a job and you don't have any money to invest into this business, then it's not really working, okay? You got to find a budget. You got to write this stuff down. You got to write down your mortgage. You got to know your car payments, and you got to know where you can cut back. Because each and every single one of you on this webinar today can cut back from anywhere from $100 to $500 a month in wasted money. Let me tell you something. I drink these Gatorades every damn day. And even because I buy them at Walmart, it's still expensive. I don't know. I'm addicted to this stuff. I got to keep my energy high. This is coffee. I started buying it at the store. Other than buying it at the local quickie store, I buy it and get it at home now, which makes it a little more affordable. And to be honest with you, it saves me $50 a month. You know how much $50 a month is? That's $600 a year in leads. How many leads is that? That's 40 more leads, depending on which system I buy. If I buy $3 leads, these are MP leads. So there's $3 mortgage protection leads. There are now $5, final expense leads. You got to get with Patrick. Everybody take a note to contact Patrick Pasco about the final expense leads to where you can get involved for 50%. Noted, you're to do that. Jerome, you were to do that. Even Robert and Heather, everybody should really, anybody that's new to this and doesn't have 10, 15 appointments on the books a week, take advantage of this program up front. I'll get involved. If everybody wants me to prove how it works, I'll prove that it works. And if you guys want to see it next week, I'll go get involved this week and show you that I can make $5,000, $10,000 using that system. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making $5,000 or $10,000 anyway, what the hell do you care if you're giving 50% of your income away? You still get the residuals though, remember. You have $11 final expense leads. You have $15 final expense leads. You have $29 direct mail leads. I'm probably missing something too. Oh, there's $6 final expense leads. There's also $6 final expense leads. They come in slow. If you guys are having problems getting leads off $15, I want you to switch to the $11. If you're having trouble getting leads from the $11 up front, get to the $15. Keep this flow coming in. Do not stop. Everybody should start to, if you want premium changes and you want to change your life, you need to get involved into the mortgage protection part of the business. If you're not interested in making money, stick with the final expense. It's a little slower. It makes a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But if you don't have the investment that's necessary to get going in final expense, do the 50-50 deal with Patrick Pasco. Get a hold of him, everyone. Then get involved in mortgage protection, for God's sakes, and learn that part of the business. Who here would like to see really how I make my money? I mean, you know, in another webinar, of course. I'm going to let Jerome has to go really soon here, but in another webinar, we can see how I make my money and show you how I transfer from mortgage protection to annuities. So how would that feel? Would that be something? Because I'm not getting any responses on anybody, you know, asking any questions. So I'm going to come up with some questions that are asked inside the home. Let's go over. I don't have any money. I can't afford it. You can't afford it, right? So we just went over your budget, and at the end of the month, it says that you got 50 to 100 bucks left. Okay, so what part can't you see that you can't afford? We went over your budget, Mrs. Jones. You got 50 to 100 bucks left. That knocks out the can't afford it part. Math, if you do the math, I'm telling you, you can't lose in the house. If you know what they're spending already and you know what they cut coming in, they can't tell you they can't afford it. All you're doing is knocking objections down. Boom, boom, boom. Knock them down. What's another objection? What's a big objection? What's a big objection that people give? Please, people, don't let me do all the thinking. What's a big objection people get? A big one. Huge one. Huge one. Okay. Let's see.
I've gotten it, Jay.
Go ahead.
I've gotten this a few times, man.
Go ahead.
So-and-so has cancer and or whatever they have, and the only thing they are eligible for is like a modified death benefit with a 2-year waiting period. Well, I only want coverage if I can get immediate coverage. I can find it somewhere else. And then you tell her, no, ma'am, I assure you, I know what you're saying. I agree with you, but I'm sure, I'm positive, I'm a broker. I know every company.
It's not an option.
You can't find this anywhere else. Oh, I can't. I only want it if it's either immediate or I don't want it at all.
It's 30%, 70%, 100%. So, Mrs. Jones, you told me you wanted cremation. So your option was to buy $10,000 in life insurance. So that means in the first year you would get $3,000 of that. So your cremation's covered. The only thing you're not doing is leaving the money behind. And I promise you, and use this one, Rob. This is $7,000. And this is 10. So you have, within your first year, you're going to get $3,000. In the second year, you get 7. In the third year, in 24 months, you get $100,000. How long have you been playing this game, Mrs. Jones? Well, you've been playing this since you've been 30, since you come out of the womb, basically. You haven't had life insurance. You got $10,000. You're able to get it today. Plus, how about this, Apples? You're earning 3% interest on your money.
Hey, so let me ask you, that 30%, 70% in year 1 and 2, that's with every carrier?
I don't know. I just know that it's with Gerber.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's with Settlers, because I'm just getting into Settlers myself, so I'm not sure about that. Does anybody know the answer to that?
I know with Lincoln it's different.
Some of them are like the premiums plus 10%.
Yeah.
The first 2 years.
Most of them I heard are it's in the year 1, it's all your money back plus 10%. Well, hell, if you're only paying in $20 a month, what's freaking, $240? What's $240?
Well, that's the way you do it, though. You just do it that way, like I showed you, and that's all you can do, brother. That's the only presentation you're left with. I mean, if you're going to get some hard ass, you're talking about a graded policy anyway. Just move on to the next, and that's why you keep the lead flow coming in.
Gotcha.
You know, that's why you got 4 appointments in a day. Noting, it says, we have this situation where somebody pays the rent, and when he said that you're the insurance guy, he told her she doesn't deal with people like that, so he pays his rent. Jerome was asking how he pays his rent, and when he said through insurance, I assume, the person told him she doesn't deal with people like that. Is that on the phone or in person? Okay.
That was Jerome when he went to the location.
Okay. Oh, and you got to the door?
I believe so.
All right, let me handle Heather's real quick because I can understand this one. If you can text Jerome and get the answer to that, ask him what he's talking about, and then I can get back to that. I get people that say that they want anyone coming to their house and won't budge from that. It's not super often, but it happens. So, Heather, what you're going to do is you're going to invite them to lunch. You're going to pick up the tab. So, Mrs. Jones, it's not a problem. You know what? I'm meeting somebody right down the street, and they feel the same as you. It'd be great if you could meet me right after I spend a little time with that individual at their house or having coffee with them. So what I'd like to do is, can I buy you lunch, please? Would that be okay? People love that shit. You buy them a little lunch, man, forget about it. Don't pick the most expensive spot on the map, but you know what I mean? I've taken people to Subway, Red Lobster, Olive Garden, and beyond that too. So that's one way out. The next step is just saying, could we meet for coffee? It's only information, or I don't necessarily have to come in the house. We could work from the back of my trunk in my car. We could do it from the street, something. Anything else but the house, Heather, is your answer to that, really. Just get them anywhere else but the house. Now, Jerome, it says that you went to a house. Jerome was asked how he pays his rent. And when he said through insurance, the person told him she doesn't deal with people like that. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yes.
I don't know. She said, thank you, and hung up. I didn't even get a chance to respond.
Okay. There's no
I guess what she's saying is that you're going to be a high-pressure salesman, and I don't want to deal with you.
Okay, well, yeah, you definitely don't use the phone to present anything. Your phone is strictly for appointment setting only. You're not presenting much of anything except the fact that you are discounts. You can use the word discounts. You can use the fact that you're in the area already. It's just information.
Well, I was at her apartment building, and the steel door over there would have made the Terminator think twice before trying to knock it down. And so I had to call her from my cell phone to talk to her to be able to get into the place. And so it never happened.
I got it. Well, that happens to me a lot. I get to these gates and I have to contact the individual. But that's why the phone section of this was important. Because if that was set properly, if I set that, she would have known who I was. She would have known why I was coming. She would have known that I'm giving her information on final expense, but I don't understand what the part of insurance, how do you pay your rent and all this. You don't ask them questions unless you're in front of them and you know the facts, okay? So your job is just to present information. Mrs. Jones, I'm here for information. And guys, stop putting so much pressure on yourself per sale. Put the pressure on the numbers, not yourself. If you would just invest in the leads, you could put the pressure on the numbers and stop taking so much of the blunt of the pressure on this damn gig. This is easier than you think if you do it right and get the right resources in place. You're proof that you can now get into the home, Jerome. Heather, you're proof now that you can get in the home and sell deals. And whoever else is on here. Next, I want Noden to make a sale. So we have to get him. He says he purchased leads. That's good. Well, when do you guys plan on reordering? Do you realize it's a weekly thing? It's not I have to get to these leads first, Jason. No. It's a weekly thing. You didn't get to those leads? That's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you. You were busy. Things happen. But get on track now. Because by the time you get the next set, you're already going to gone through these leads. So here's what I want everybody to do. Take a breather. Absorb a lot of this. Let's go recap. You're doing rapport to the point of trust sometimes. If you're dealing with a bitchy person, build rapport while you're going over some numbers. And Jerome, you have this certain characteristic about you that's a cuddly type thing. You've got to harden that up a little bit, going a little more serious and less jokes, okay? Going serious. I don't know if you clown around a lot with them and try to build rapport that way, but it's okay to mess around here and there. But at the same time, you got to pull it back and get it back. Like the fish is getting away from you. You got to pull it back now, okay? So use the fishing line technique. Let the fish get away, pull it back. Get away, pull it back. And then lastly, you got to get to the point where you know the numbers. You got to know what they got coming in, man. The only steps I can give you is this. Know what's coming into the house versus what's going out. And the very last number that's left over is the number that you get to use for life insurance. Don't forget to ask about what life insurance is in place. Now, if nobody has any more questions, I'm going to beat the hell out of Saturday, doing whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want. But I would rather stay on here and help somebody. So if anybody has a question, let's get it out right now before this week starts. Use the time wisely and ask the right question. Whoever's at 412-821-0139 has not asked a question. Whoever's at 352-551-8561 has not asked a question yet. And if you feel uncomfortable, I'm not here to do that, but I want you to know that everyone on this page is here for you. And all we want to do is help. Make sure that you get out there next week and put yourself on the line right now to make a great income next week. Heather's proof of it. Jerome's proof of it. I'm proof of it. This stuff works if you stick to it. Every week I've seen the same faces on it. And those people are now getting into homes who've never gotten into homes before. People that have never sold before or sold small policies are now selling larger policies than ever. And this stuff works because we're helping each other. So by next week, I would assume, since we don't have any more questions, that everybody got something. If we don't have any questions, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to act like I'm one of you. Can anybody answer this question for me? I'm in a home, and I know that the individual has $100 a month to use. I know that they're 40 years of age, they're a non-smoker, and they want me to cover them for $10,000 in coverage. I'm sorry, let me fix this. I meant to say $100,000 in coverage, but they're so addicted to term, like they want term. What do I do in that situation? How can I get them away from term, and how can I convince them to use whole life?
Term doesn't build cash value. Whole life builds cash value.
One great point. That's a perfect point.
Their house.
You're throwing your money away. If you're not ever going to get that back unless you do a return of premium.
That's right. So if we think about it mathematically, if I took that $100 here and I take that $100 here, in fact, let me use two different cards here. If I take this $100 here, and this is term, and this is whole life, this one doesn't earn cash, right? No cash value.
Yes.
This one earns cash value though, right? This whole life got cash value to it. So anything else about these two that we can tell them about?
Yeah, by the time their term runs out, their health is definitely going to change one way or another.
You got the health on them.
A lot more.
Yeah, great one. Awesome. Nice. So we got no cash value. We got their health.
And then term, doesn't it increase every few years?
Another point. Some of it does. Some of it goes up every 5 years. It depends on the product. 9 out of 10. Due to the cost of insurance, term goes up every 5 years, anywhere from $5 to $10. They don't know that till they get the bill in the mail. So term goes up. Something else? Anything between these two we can help them with? How about, can we do the math? Can we just add these two up and say, let's say this is a 30-year term. How much do they spend in 30 years? Usually $1,200 a year.
$36,000.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to take the interest levels that could be earned on, let's take LSW for instance, because that's the product that I use the most. Take 7%, multiply that by, that's annually, so I need 30 years. What's the interest over 30 years on 7%?
$2,520.
2020. No, I just want to know what the interest is. So it'd be 7 times 30 is how much?
Times 36, you mean?
36, sorry.
7% is $2,520.
No, that's incorrect. It's just do 36 times 7. That's going to be the percentage that they get over the next 36 months. Trust me on this. I do it.
$252,000.
I don't want the money. I just want the percentage. So it's, let me do the math. I want you to.
Oh, you want the percentage?
36 times 7, right? I
It's
just want to know.
252.
252. Okay, take 252%, add it to the 36,000. So it's 36,000 plus 252%.
So what do you want done? I'm missing.
90,720.
That's the number that they missed doing it on term. Because I'll repeat that. Let me go over this in a different way so you guys see what I did. This is important for you to do. I don't have a calculator, and it's very frustrating that I can't do it on my own. But here's what happens. If I take $100 and I multiply that by 12 months, okay, that equals $1,200. If I multiply that by the term, it's wrong, Robert, it's 30 years is the term. You did it by 3 years. So it's 30 months, 30 years times 12 comes to what? 36,000. That part was correct. Now we don't do 36 months from this point. Now, on whole life, on the LSW product, it's 7% it's almost 13% annually. If I just take the minimum, just to give them an idea, this is just an idea how much money they're losing doing a term. If I take this and I multiply that times 30, that's that's 200, that's 21, 210%. That's 210% over 30 years that they lose. 7% a year over 30 years comes to 210%. So we do $36,000 times 210%. What does that equal?
75,600.
75,000?
600.
Okay, now in their goose egg, at term, they have completely nothing. So this is a strategy that you can use. Show this in the house. It's a real quick math problem that shows them the money that they lost by not doing it your way.
So what's the average interest earnings for a normal whole life product, like your Living Prominent, your Mutual of Omaha's, your Transamerica's, 3%?
4.5 at Trans. Most of them are 3 though.
Okay.
3. Prosperity 3. Does anybody know that?
I have no idea.
3. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Average is 3 though, Rob. But this mathematical problem, guys, will teach you guys to get $100 times 12 months is $1,200 a year over 30 months. 30 months, that's $36,000, right? So
this particular product with this 7 to 13% on LSW, this is just a normal whole life simplified issue product.
Oh, it's an indexed universal.
This is the IUL?
Yeah. So it's not guaranteed that. However, it's been holding that. It can fluctuate too, though. But all this is for is a basic illustration to talk somebody out of term. I got believers in term. And even when I'm trying to sell the product and they already have term, and let's say they're 10 years into their term and they got 20 more to go, I'll show them the money that they can lose in the next 20 years. And then I'll also show them what they've lost in 30 years if they continue the route that they do. And then I sell this product using that strategy. Because at the end of the day, this is all they get when they use term. Now, it may be worth $100,000, right? I want you to know something, too. Both of them are about the same price, to be honest with you, Matt. Heather, can you tell me, let's say that we have a 40-year-old male. I can't run an illustration, but would you think that LSW would be as close as term on this price?
It should be pretty close.
Okay, so
especially once the price starts going up on the term.
now think about this. People will argue with me, but it's an index universal life and you can lose it to the market volatility, or I'm sorry, due to the cost of insurance on the rise. Now remember, cost of insurance and index products still goes up. And you have to teach people eventually how to overfund an indexed annuity. If they're earning 7%, tell them to put more money in every year. That's all.
But, so this is all based on the S&P.
Yes, that's correct, right?
So this isn't, this could be nothing in 10 years. This is a gamble.
What could be a gamble?
I mean, it's between 7. What if the S&P just totally craps out?
Well, then it's still being funded, Rob. It's not like you're not putting money into it to fund it.
You're funding it, but
you still have interest. It wouldn't, see, you would put it into a position where there are calculations that you can provide inside the system that make it go to life. So you can make sure that it gets it there. But if you got to do the premiums right, you can do a premium based on their age and make it till lapse is 65, but they're 50.
Yeah.
So you can screw this up pretty bad, or you can make it go to 90. But here's the point I'm going to make to you with what you just stated, which I like, is that the crapper is in 30 years guaranteed in the term. Okay. Now this product here, you got a shot. You really do got a shot of existing point to pass. The only thing you need to teach people is you need to learn how to do the illustrations on the computer system, and then you need to teach people how to defeat this problem. Let's say that the average is about 3%, but the cost of insurance is $10 a year. Monthly, we got to make sure that they beat that. They're at least earning more than $10 a month inside that product.
So with this particular 40-year-old, let's just say he did a 20-year return of premium. Okay, his mortgage is a 30-year mortgage, but he's paying. So he's getting what, 24,000 back at the end of 20 years?
How much is the premium? It's like $100 again?
Yeah. Let's just make it easy math. So he'll get back $24,000 at the end of the year, and he can either trade that in for cash or trade that in for a paid up life insurance policy that he'll have for the rest of his life.
It's also not a bad deal, but the problem is a lot of people can't get the premiums up. And you need to learn the term products very well too, to make sure that you that you understand what you're giving them. Because just in a simple world, though, let's make this basic. Yes, this would be great. This would be great for them, but they're young too. So the other product, though, when you look at the cash value, Rob, if you were to do one on you, just once you have an LSW product, punch in what like $500 a month looks like, and then you notice that you'll become a millionaire by the time retirement hits due to the cost, the inflation on the money due to the interest levels. So when you talk to LSW, talk to them about avoiding lapse. All of you talk to LSW about avoiding lapses. How do you do that? And they're going to teach you how.
So for me, 33, if I took out an IUL of myself and put in $500 a month.
Good. Yeah, you should. Yeah, go ahead.
In 30 years, what would I have in that account?
Well, let's do the math on that. Anybody got a calculator? Help me.
Yeah, I got one right here.
All right. So take $500 a month, and you're going to multiply that by 12 months.
It's $6,000.
Are you going to multiply that by retirement? Let's say it's 20 years from now.
Okay.
Multiply that by 20 years. How much is that?
$120,000.
$120,000. Now, just on an average, let's just mark down it at 7% again for 20 years. That's 140%. Just add 140% to that. $120 plus. It's 7% annually.
So that's $288,000
annually, and you have 120% interest on the money.
I thought you said 140.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 140. 140% earned. Let me make sure this is being done right. I got to see it myself to do it right. 500 times 12 months equals 6,000. And then I'm going to multiply that by 20 years. That's $120,000 plus 140% interest is $288,000. However, what we're missing is the economy doing well sometimes. And the problem is within the cash values, we're missing the points where it does go up a little higher. You know, there's fluctuation. It really does.
Yeah. And then you
now all you need to do is figure out what would you need. I mean, my mathematics were wrong when I told you a millionaire, but how many more years would you need? Now, if you did 30 years, would that change the game up? It'd be like 750,000 maybe. Maybe it'd be $500,000. You know, but yeah, just play with that stuff when you're in the house. But you can figure out what you could be worth, and think about it. They pay you as earned too. So you know, to get a product on yourself at LSW with a high interest earning levels, you have a great opportunity to put an investment away for yourself. Duh, we should be doing it. Me and you were just talking the other day about how much money we spend sometimes. And, you know, if we just took the past money that we've ever had, we'd be millionaires today doing it this way.
I'd probably be a billionaire.
Right. So compounding interest works. So what I want you all to do is really take an investment out on yourself. Prove it to clients that you have the same damn product too. I just got another $100,000 at LSW. I have several policies, but I just bought another 100, and I'm going to overfund it. I'm going to get a low policy, but I'm going to personally overfund it. See, I don't have to give them, I don't have to buy a $500,000 policy. I mean, unless I want the immediate payout of $500,000, but I can get a product like this and I can overfund it myself. That's what the flex means. That's what the flex means.
With the LSW, for this IUL, what's the lowest face amount? So you could get a 25 and overfund the hell out of it. And so that's really the way to go.
For you, yeah, it's probably like, Heather, do you have any idea what a 33-year-old it'd be like $30 a month for 25 large on you.
And then you overfund it at 500, so you overfund it by $470 a month. and then these numbers are going to change dramatically.
Oh,
You just gotta watch it doesn't mac out.
now explain that, Heather. What would that mean to him?
Basically, you can't put more funding in it than a 7-year, like
Right. So what's the max funding for a $25,000 face amount? What's the max funding you could put in every year?
that. I'm not sure. You'd have to do an individual illustration on it.
Okay.
Look, what you do is then you buy a product that's you gotta have a higher product, more premium to it. Like you got more premium to it. Then you can overfund it higher that way.
Right.
You know, if you know that you're going after 500, obviously, but you wanted the option not to have to do 500 all the time if you didn't have it.
Well, I just know that
which is a
the
good
more you overfund it, that goes into the account that collects the interest, the overfunding.
So it's a beautiful way for you guys to put a retirement away. They do have the way to show you at LSW when you contact them. They will provide you a way. Just tell them, look, I'd like to have funding for my retirement. How can I personally put money away for my own retirement using this product? And they will walk you right through it and have them sit in front of your computer and walk through the illustrations. This shit gets me wild, because I can help people so much if they do it right and I do the right illustrations. It beats out everything. Here's the problem with LSW, though, and I need you all to hear this, is that there are no real residuals on this. Now, Heather, do you know anything about the back end of LSW's products?
No, not yet.
Yeah, there really isn't a residual like there is at Mutual of Omaha on this product. It doesn't really. I need somebody to find the right answer for that. I'm not saying it correctly, but it's not like it's going to pay you for the rest of your life type situation. So you guys got to be careful on that part of the business. But I always told Alyssa, I said, look, that's our job to do anyway. I know that I'm going to still sell other products along the way, but my job is to get big numbers up front and then organize it in a way where I'm putting myself in a position later that I have maximized my retirement plan. So I would rather take big money up front. Plus they pay you like $4,000 up front. You know what I mean? So like Mutual of Omaha is like, what, $3,000 up front? So hypothetically, if you wrote a $6,000 a year policy, $500 a month, you would get $4,000 of that up front. Let's talk note, and I want to talk to you for one moment before we get off of here. Are you going to set appointments this week? How many leads do you have total now? You have 20, 40?
I'm about a little over 60.
Okay, you got 60. What I want you to do by the end of this week, I want you to get that to 100. If you can get that up to 100, there's no ifs, ands, or buts that I'm going to help you by next week get the lead money back. And then I'll also be in a position to help you get in a home and present it properly. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is get them by Saturday, and I'll take your appointments and I'll set them for you next Saturday. So you're in the house on Monday and Tuesday. That's my offer to you if you do it. I know it's some money out of pocket, but get underneath that pillow somewhere and find it. Or you have the option to fund the cheaper B leads. So what I want you to do is call Patrick about getting your appointment set for you. Heather, you might as well take that on, honey, and try to get a few appointments set. Are you down with that, or are you not cool with that?
Oh, I'm fine with it. I'm whatever I can do to get in a house.
Yeah, there you go. Robert, wherever you are, I want you to do the same thing. 352-551-8561. Please, can you tell me who you are? Who are you?
It's Christy.
Christy, okay, babe. I just, sorry, I forgot the number. Christy, I want you to do the same too, dear. You're going to get the funded lead system that is being offered, and you'll have to put whoever down for 50%. And then I have one more here. 412-821-0139.
That's Diane.
Diane. Okay, I want you to do the same, Diane. Contact Patrick and then ask him about getting the leads that are funded by the company, and then you can have them set your appointments and you put them down at 50%.
Okay, yeah, I was on that conference call.
Okay, great. Does everybody understand that? I want to hear everybody understands that. Heather, you understand the process is just call Patrick, get that in order. Noden, Diane, Christy, Rob, wherever the hell you are. And can you please remind Jerome to do that too, Noden, okay?
I'll do that.
Okay, and then everybody on this list, don't come back here next week without 20 new leads. Please, it's very important you keep the lead flow going. Find a way, even beyond them doing the 50% gig with you, I want you still to invest into your own resources. If you trust me on this, you're going to find wealth. I promise you, you're going to get money out of this deal. All right. All right, everybody, no more. If there's no more questions, but if you do have questions, please ask them now. Anybody have any more questions? Does everybody want to get off the phone and go enjoy themselves? Thank you for spending 2 hours with us today. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Same time, same bat cave. Same bat channel, same bat cave, or whatever they used to say. You know it, Noden. How do they say that, man? That was the old Batman series. So I'm going to see you
before my time.
Oh, I got you.
That time, same that place.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so the middle of the week, we're going to do a webinar based upon mortgage protection and annuities. I don't know what day and what time, but it'll be at that same bat place, same bat time. I'll see y'all later. Be cool, everybody. Bye.